Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Charzhino. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of topics, randomness, lists, reactions, re-reviews, reviews, commentaries, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. And so what he wanted me to do is discuss and go over Empire, I guess Empire Magazine, which is their website. They just did a list of what they deem the 100 greatest movies of all time. Empire asked readers to share their pitch for the best films. Combining reader votes with critics' choices, here we have it, our new list of the 100 greatest movies. Now, let me just start off with, anytime you have a list, there's going to be disagreements. There are. Let's be honest, the best list for you is the one that you make. That's just how it is. So off the bat, I guarantee there'll be disagreements and to each their own. We agree to disagree. I can only give my own opinion on it. So let's see what the combination of Empire Magazine's readers and critics for what are the 100 greatest movies. Reservoir Dogs, number 100. I like the film. It would not be on my top 100, but I do like the film. I mean, I'm not mad that's on the list, but it would not be on my list. I would put Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction and Tarantino films above it, but, again, I'm not mad at it. Groundhog Day, fun movie, entertaining film. I don't think it would be on my list of top 100, but still a fun, entertaining movie. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. It's definitely one of Bill Murray's best films. I would put, for Bill Murray, like Ghostbusters and Stripes above it, but it's a good film. Again, I have no issues with it being on a list, because at least it's a damn good comedy. And yeah, there's deeper things, like it says, of existence, morals. So there's a bit of heart to it as well. Paddington 2. Okay, here. I like the first Paddington. I have not seen the sequel, to be fair. I like the first Paddington. I thought it was cute. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was sweet. It was a cute, sweet little movie. It didn't have a lot of stupid juvenile. I thought it was much better than what the trailer made you think it was. I think that's a film that had a poor trailer, but the movie was much better. I haven't seen the sequel, but I mean, Paddington 2, really of all the films throughout the years, Paddington 2 is one of the 100 best films of all time. Somehow I just don't see it. Amelie, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, I have not seen the film, so I can't comment on it. Brokeback Mountain, maybe for critics, it'd be on their 100 best, but I saw the film, it didn't do much for me. I mean, with Ang Lee, hell, I liked the Hulk, his Hulk more than this film. This film didn't do much for me. It's not because of the gay plot. I don't give a rat's ass about that. I thought, the acting wasn't a problem. It's just, I don't know, kind of an overrated romantic story. That if you took the exact same plot, but if Heath Ledger was played by a girl, I don't think anyone would have noticed. It's just, that's the idea behind it, though. That's kind of the whole point of the movie. But it would not be on my list. I'm not surprised this is on the list. It's definitely a critical darling. Again, just would not be on my list. Donnie Darko, another Jake Gyllenhaal film. I like the movie. It's at times can be confusing, but I've been able to understand it a bit more as it goes on. It's definitely a unique movie. It's definitely a movie that is not typical. Again, it would not be on my list at top 100. But I mean, Donnie Darko, like I say, it does have enough of a unique nature that if someone put it on their list and it's at 95, but again, do you think about all the films of all time? There's a lot of movies on there I would put above Donnie Darko. I mean, this is of all time. Maybe if it was like of the 2000s, sure. But like top one, okay, if you did like top 100 movies of the 2000s, yes. Of all time, that's pushing it. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, this okay, this is bullshit. This is already a bullshit list for me. I'm not a fan of Scott Pilgrim. I know a lot of people are. I think it sucked, honestly. It had some good visual aesthetics. But you know what? I saw those in a film I saw at the end recently, Guns Akimbo, and that was a more entertaining film to me. I'm sorry, I think this film bombed for a good reason. Michael Cera is a very unlikable protagonist. I don't care if he's that way in the comics. He's still an unlikable protagonist. I don't give a shit what happens to him. I don't give a shit about his ideal. He seems like a very immoral character. He fucking cheats on his one girlfriend who's like underage, and then tries to pons with this other girl who doesn't want shit. Who's an even more unlikable character. Who's so much of a bitch. She pretty much dumped 7 other people, and so their exes want to fight Michael Cera, and Michael Cera is fighting for this girl who doesn't even barely like him at all, and it just, there's some nice visual shots and moments, but a lot of movies have done that. I don't care for the story or the characters as Scott Pilgrim. If you do, cool, to each their own. I think this film sucks. No way, in my opinion, does it deserve to be on a top 100 of all time. Then you think about all the movies. I could name some, but they might be on the list later, so I don't know if the Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Never even heard of this. Leon, the Professional. Good movie. Maybe it won't be in my top 100, but, you know, that's so... He's got some good action scenes in the third act. Gary Oldman is having fun camping it up. Everyone. John Reno as the hitman. Very young Natalie Portman. One of the better films by Luc Besson. Yeah, I did like Leon, the Professional. Logan. Listen, I liked Logan. I have issues with it, but I like Logan. I'm sorry, I don't feel it's one of the top 100 films of all time. If that's the case, any of the first 4 Rambo films, Commando, Predator, in my opinion, Predator 2, Speed with Keanu Reeves. I'm sure, I would assume the Shawshank Redemption will be on here. Heat, Michael Mann. Even a film like Ronin with Robert De Niro. I mean, just, there's a lot of other movies I would put above Logan. Even superhero films. Superman the movie, Batman 89, the first Iron Man, I would put above Logan. Again, I like Logan, but the villains are not much to run home about. They're really not. Hugh Jackman does a good performance. It's nice to see Wolverine finally not be held back, but it is a depressing film, so it's not a film I rewatch a lot. I like the film. I don't think it's a top 100 of all time. The Terminator, yes, that I can understand. I don't know if it'd be my top. There's just so many movies to choose from, but I have no issues with the Terminator being on a top 100. No issues at all. I love. It says here, it's like if Arnold was an upgraded version of Halloween's Michael Myers, because it's like a slasher film, and I like the Terminator. Good movie. I understand that. No Country for Old Men. Again, that's a critical darling. I think Javier Bardem does a nice job with his intense performance. The way he kills people is unique with the bolt gun thing. but I thought the story was a bit slow. It wasn't the most exciting, and the ending is ambiguous and unsatisfying. I'm sorry, I did not care for the ending of the film. Tommy Lee Jones has this weird dream he talks about. I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to mean. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will have dissertations about what it means. I don't even care. Like, you're talking about, like, performances? Javier Bardem's good, but nah, it's a film I saw once I'd never care to see again. Titanic. I mean, it was, at the time, the biggest film ever. So there's a lot of people that have fond memories of it. I'm not surprised it's on the list. I would not put it on there because I think it's one of the more overrated films. I do. And I don't even think it's an awful film. I just think it's an overrated film that's just not my cup of tea. Like, the special effects and the acting, the set design, they're not bad. It's just... It's still a 3-hour movie about a boat that breaks in half and sinks. And you're pretty much just waiting for the boat to sink at the end of the day. I don't think it need to be 3 hours long. But, again, there's much more Aliens, Terminator, True Lies, The Abyss, much other James Cameron films I like more. If Titan's on the list, I would not be surprised if Avatar's on the list. I get why that's on the list. I've never been a big Exorcist guy. I actually prefer the third film. I do. I prefer the third movie. I'm actually surprised it's not higher on the list because it's usually called, the best horror film of all time or one of the best horror films of all time. For me, I prefer The Exorcist 3. I'm not surprised it's on the list. It wouldn't be on my list, but I mean, I'm not mad because the only surprise is I'm surprised it's low. But really the only one I truly enjoy is Part 3 with George C. Scott and Brad Dourif. Oh my god. Black Panther. Give me a fucking break on this. Listen. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace. This film fucking sucks. I don't care. I will say it until the cows come home. Black Panther fucking sucks. Number one, Black Panther was a better character in Civil War. Captain America, Civil War. He was better utilized. He had more motivation. He had more character. He was a more badass character. He had better action scenes. He had more, like I said, emotional motivation. Black Panther was a better character in a film that he wasn't the star in. This film, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, is because Black Lives Matter. In which, in my opinion, yes, they do matter. Just like the cop, who was black, who fucking died during the riots. His fucking life mattered too. And he happened to be black. But oh, that doesn't matter because he's a cop. So, you don't really believe in what you're saying then. To me, yeah, I will say all lives matter. So do Asian lives matter. So do white guys matter. So do white girls matter. So do Native American lives matter. To me, they all matter. That's why the Black Lives Matter thing bothered me in the fact of, as if what, others don't? And even during the riots, again, a cop doing his job, he happened to be black too. He died, and not a lot of people gave a shit. And this film, yeah, you know what's better than Black Panther? Blade. Blade 2. But I bet they're not on the list. They were nominated for Best Picture Oscar. And that's the other thing. This film got nominated for a Best Picture Academy Award. I find that a load of horseshit. Black Panther was not the most interesting character in his own movie. The villain would disappear for like a fucking hour. And then we're supposed to feel sorry for him. But one of his goals is to kill people, including women and children. But we're supposed to sympathize with him. The plot sucked. The effects were garbage. Go back and rewatch the fight between Black Panther and the other Black Panther. And watch the effects in CG. That's your Academy Award nominated picture film. Stunning set pieces? You mean like garbage CGI that I've seen better in PlayStation games? No, this was done for politics, not because of the film itself. And if that's the case, Blade and Blade 2, if I did a poll, I bet I would find more people saying Blade and Blade 2 are better than Black Panther. A number of other Wesley Snipes films or Michael Jai White films. Give me a fucking break. I would rather watch Spawn than Black Panther. I'm not even a big fan of Spawn, the movie. Fuck Black Panther. It doesn't deserve to be on the list. Didn't deserve to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture. Where the fuck is Blade? Where the fuck is Blade 2 with Wesley Snipes? I remember the review's not up anymore, sadly, but I had a review of this. I got called racist because I didn't like it. What? I didn't like a generic, lame, boring action film in which the title character was better in Civil War? He's less badass in his own fucking movie? What action scenes? A shitty car chase and an ending where he's garbage CGI fighting another Black Panther. Now this film I did, Shaun of the Dead. Great movie, fun movie. It being on the list, I understand. Compared to these other movies, I think it could be even higher. But Shaun of the Dead, fun film. I think the best film Edgar Wright has done. One of the better horror comedies out there. Do love Shaun of the Dead. Lost in Translation. It wouldn't be in my top 100, but I like the film. I have no issues with it being on it. I think Bill Murray does a good job showing a bit of range. It was a different kind of movie, as he's an actor doing a commercial overseas, I think in Tokyo or something, and this love story happens, and again, there's other Bill Murrays I would put up there. I'm sure Ghostbusters is on here, but I would put like Stripes above it. Scrooged I would put above it, but I like Lost in Translation. Thor Ragnarok. The 100 best films of all time. Thor Ragnarok. Again, Superman the movie better be on there, or Batman 89, or the first Iron Man, or a number of other movies better be on there. Thor Ragnarok. How about Predator? Where's Predator 2? Where's Commando? Where's The Running Man? Where's... I'm sure Aliens is on the list, but where's any number of Rambo films? Like, come on. John Wick. Thor Ragnarok? Really? I didn't even hate the film. That's the thing. I didn't even hate the film. I don't hate the film. I can enjoy it. I can be entertained by it. Even though in retrospect, a lot of it's pointless because the Hulk became a fucking geek wearing glasses, offering people tacos and taking selfies. Thor is not about the hammer. What are you? Did I make you a god of hammers? No, you're the god of thunder, electricity. And then in Avengers Infinity War, what's his goal? To find a fucking hammer. It's not about the hammer. So the next film, I gotta go find a hammer. Get the fuck out of here. And then, this movie's not needed. It's not wanted. And yeah, I like the film for what it is, but god damn, man. It doesn't deserve to be on a top 100 list. Give me a break. So, number 83 on the list, I think is ridiculous in my opinion. But, let's see. The Usual Suspects. Again, that's a film I didn't mind. There's a lot of... I think if a lot of critics made a top 100, it would be on there. It culminates in the finale reveal of Kaiser Soze, Kevin Spacey. I'm sure nowadays that film's a bit incognito in the fact that, Brian directing, and he was looked at as a bit uneasy of a figure now. And then Kevin Spacey on top of that, but it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this. Usual Suspects, that film I hate, but it's just one of those films I don't know if this is really needed. I really don't. Well, I keep saying not needed. It's not that it's not needed, it's just, I wouldn't put it on the list. I can see why other people put it on the list, especially with that twist at the end. It just would not be on my list. Psycho, I'm surprised it's not higher. But The Exorcist, Psycho when it comes to horror films. But I would think that with readers, there's a lot of other films they would have picked over Psycho. I mean, any number of Elm Street, Friday 13th, like, I was surprised Saw isn't on the list. I mean, if this is a newer list, I'm surprised a lot of people would remember Psycho. And in fact, I mean, I think Psycho 2 is better than Psycho 1. So again, there's just a lot of other horror films I would put above it. So, I don't know what other horror films there are. I'm not surprised it's on the list. It wouldn't be on my list, but I'm not surprised by it. So, LA Confidential, I disagree. You know what's weird about LA Confidential? This is a film no one talks about. That's why I'm surprised this is on the list. Before I've mentioned it now, when was the last time someone ever mentioned LA Confidential? When was the last time someone even brought it up into any type of conversation? I think most people would be like, oh, I forgot that film existed. I remember that year, at the same time Copland came out. I think Copland is a much better film. Especially with Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Harvey Keitel, you got Michael Rappaport, you got Peter Bird, you got a hell of a cast, this nice Western motif. Same director there, go direct Lodian. But yeah, LA Confidential, you never hear anybody talking about this movie. But it's number 80 on the greatest films of all time list. I mean, I'm like, where's Heat? Where's, The Big Lebowski? I don't know. Yeah. E.T. I'm not surprised E.T.'s on the list. I'm surprised it's not higher on the list, to be honest. I am surprised it's not higher. I don't mind E.T. I liked E.T. But, for example, I like Starman more, directed by John Carpenter. But I'm not surprised it's on the list. I'm surprised it's not higher. In the Mood for Love, never even heard of it. Return of the Jedi. I'm surprised it's on the list. I mean, I like Return of the Jedi, but even of the three original films, that's kind of deemed the lesser of the three. But I guess, the original Star Wars films are held up to high regard, so I shouldn't be that surprised that it's on the list. I mean, I like Return of the Jedi. I have no issues with it being on a list like this. Again, I'm a bit surprised, because again, that's kind of looked at lesser than the others. Oh, I know a lot of critics enjoyed that film. It didn't do much for me. I'm sorry it didn't. I liked The Arrival with Charlie Sheen more. And, there's other sci-fi films throughout the years I liked more. I just think of, like, other films, like Jacob's Ladder from 1990, and the Blob remake from 1988. But again, that's with different folks, different strokes for different folks. A lot of people like The Arrival. They're just other sci-fi films I liked more than it. Sorry, just The Arrival didn't do much for me. A Quiet Place. I mean, it's a newer film. It's a newer film a lot of people liked. I thought it was okay. But again, I thought there was a lot better movies. This is number 75 of the greatest films of all time. Think about that. Even this list, A Quiet Place is better than... Think about it. A Quiet Place is better than Groundhog Day. It's better than Shaun of the Dead. is better than the Terminator. Like, how many people would really say that A Quiet Place is better than the Terminator? That A Quiet Place is better than, Return of the Jedi? I, I don't think it should be on the list. I really don't. I think it's okay. I didn't bother to see the sequel because I had no interest, because I thought the first film was alright. But again, the 100 best films of all time? Of all time. Greatest movies of all time. Not the 2000s or 2010s. All time. I mean, Emily Blunt, where's Edge of Tomorrow? I would put Edge of Tomorrow above A Quiet Place for Emily Blunt movies. So I don't know. I'm sorry. A Quiet Place, no. Trainspotting, I thought was okay. I'm not surprised it's on the list, though. Mulholland Drive, I didn't see that one. Rear Window, I can understand that. I like Rear Window. Again, my list is a weird list, as in, films I cherished growing up. But I have no issues with Rear Window being on the list. It's one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. It definitely inspired a lot of those movies where you're trapped in one location. You look out into the outside world. Films like Disturbia and things of that nature. And, James Stewart is stuck in his wheelchair. All he can do is look outside to the world, and he thinks he's spotted a murder. If that was on wheels, it would be Road Games with Stacy Teach and Jamie Lee Curtis. I always liked that idea, the concept. I had seen the other times it was replicated before I saw Rear Window. But yeah, I think Rear Window is well acted. I think Alfred Hitchcock does a good job with suspense. I have no issues with Rear Window being on the list. Up. I don't remember much about Up. I will say Wall-E, I think is my favorite Pixar film. I think it's the best one. So Wall-E should be on the list. It better be on the list. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I like the film. I do. I enjoy the film. In fact, I think I said I think it's the best Spider-Man film out there. But again, 100 greatest films of all time. Again, if you're asking me of the 2010s or maybe even the 2000s, from 2000 to 2020, 100, maybe, yeah. But number 70 of all time, that's pushing it a bit. That's pushing it a bit. I like the film too. I like the film a lot. But that's pushing it. Inglourious Bastards. No, I'm sorry, no. That's a Tarantino film I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan of it. Sorry, no. It would not be on the list for me. No, just no. Lady Bird, never saw. Singing in the Rain. I mean, honestly, never saw it. Never bothered to. Wasn't my cup of tea. That seems like more of what a critic top 100 would be. I don't know if a lot of people today have heard of Singing in the Rain. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I like the film. It's a movie I could see being on a list. I think Jack Nicholson, there's other films I enjoy more. The Shining. The Last Detail. Even As Good as It Gets, I like more. But I mean, I get why a film like this would be on the list. Seven Samurai, I haven't seen, but I know it inspired a lot of stuff. Same with the Hidden Fortress, which inspired Star Wars. This inspired a lot of other stuff. The Magnificent Seven. La La Land, no. I'm sorry, no. Not on a... I think I saw the film and I didn't mind it for what it was. But even I'm like, I don't think it's one of the best films of the year. I still don't, but I didn't mind it. But number 64 in the greatest of all time? All time. I mean, if we're talking musicals, what about Shop of Horrors from the 80s? What about the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Hell, what about even the A Star Is Born? I would say I liked more than this. I just the one with Bradley Cooper. I won't put that on a top 100 either, but I'm just saying I like that film even more than this. No, that should not be on top 100, especially above The Terminator and Shaun of the Dead and some of these other movies. Get Out. I like the film. It would not be in my top 100 of all time. Again, I like the film. Again, if you're talking about top 100 of the 2000s or the 2010s, especially 2010s, sure. Again, I liked Get Out. I enjoyed it. I still liked it, despite not liking really anything else Jordan Peele's done afterward. I just don't think it would be in my top 100. Lawrence of Arabia, I haven't seen. I know I haven't seen. Pan's Labyrinth. This is a Guillermo del Toro film I could never get into. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people liked it, so I'm not surprised it's on the list. I could never get into it. I was much more into Blade 2, Mimic, like other Del Toro films I liked more than this. His Hellboy films. This one just, again, wasn't for me. Some good effects, art direction, but I don't know, I just could never get into the story like other people did. Hot Fuzz. I don't mind the film, but I think Shaun of the Dead is better. And I would not put it on the list, especially this high. I don't mind the film, but I think there's a lot of other films, action, comedy, or both, I would put above Hot Fuzz. I don't hate the film, I like it, but I don't know. Moonlight, haven't seen it. I know it won the Oscar. My friend Michael Keane, the Choice Voice, saw it. I don't think he was that impressed by it. And it didn't look like much for me either. Guardians of the Galaxy. I like the film. I enjoy the film. But now we're getting to the point that this is almost in the top 50 of all time. It's at 58, but would Guardians of the Galaxy really be in the top 50 of all time? Again, top 100 of the 2010s? Maybe the 2000s? Maybe? Again, I enjoy the film, but you know, I noticed there's a lot of superhero movies on this list. There's a lot of superhero movies. Because we've had Thor Ragnarok, Into the Spider-Verse, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, but no Commando, Speed, Con Air, Broken Arrow, Rambo, John Wick, Taken. I'm sure Die Hard's on the list later. Aliens, I'm sure, is on the list later. But, like, come on now. Blade Runner 2049. I know there's a lot of people that will disagree with this. I don't, because I love the film. This would be on my list. 57, that's a fair placement. I think I do have it on my list. I don't remember where it was, though. But it would be on my list, because I really did love that film. I know I'm alone in that. But I did really enjoy that movie. I enjoyed not just the visuals, the art, but the story I liked. I like Ryan Gosling, as it says, grappling with his own identity. I liked a lot of the quiet moments. You have this character realizing he's not real, but then still deeming to do the right thing. I thought Deckard was handled respectfully in the fact that they didn't kill him off. They didn't treat, Harrison Ford is that much older. He can't do as much. I mean, that's just not feasible. Him dealing with his daughter, a sweet way to end it. Because you remember the first Blade Runner, if you look at the director's cut, it ends with they're on the run. Here it's a much more satisfying, sweet ending for the Deckard character. He rejoins with his daughter. They have a nice moment. See, that's a way of treating the original with respect, not shitting on it, but you have a character who's much older and he can't do as much, but it's still a story kind of about them. And you have a new character that you do a good job developing. I still enjoy that film. The Social Network, a lot of people liked it. Like David Fincher, I would put Fight Club above it. I would put Seven above it. I would put The Game above it. A lot of people like the film. I'm not surprised it's on the list. Taxi Driver, good movie. I get why. Saving Private Ryan. There's other war films. Full Metal Jacket, Casualties of War, Hamburger Hill I would put above it, but very popular film. Forrest Gump. I liked the film quite a bit. A lot of people, they kind of lost interest in the film throughout the years. But I still like Forrest Gump. Point Break. I have never understood the love for Point Break. I'm sorry. I think there's better Patrick Swayze films like Roadhouse, Uncommon Valor. I think there's better Keanu films. Bill and Ted 1 and 2. Speed. The Matrix, which I'm sure that'll be on the list. Constantine. Like, there's a lot of other Keanu Reeves films I like more. The John Wick films. This, I'm sorry. I never understood the appeal. I don't care about surfing. I think I love Keanu, but this is one of his weaker acting performances. He didn't have... It was kind of like it was an audition for Speed. That's the way I think of it. It was audition, he worked out the kinks, and he did a better job in Speed. Speed better be on this list. If Point Break's on the list, Speed better be on the list. Whiplash. I liked the film. It got Oscar buzz. It wouldn't be in my top 100, but I did like Whiplash. Vertigo. I'm sorry, that's a Hitchcock film I never cared for. The Birds I liked more. Rear Window I liked more. I think Rear Window should be above Vertigo. The Birds, if this is on here, The Birds better be on the list, if that's the case. I've never been a Vertigo guy. Spirited Away. There's other anime I like more. Akira. Where's Akira? Where's Ninja Scroll if you don't talk anime? Akira's now on the list. Ghostbusters. Great. Should be higher. But nice to see Ghostbusters on the list. Do the Right Thing. I'm not a big Spike Lee guy. I did like Inside Man, but I'm not a big Spike Lee guy. I'm sorry. Schindler's List. I'm not surprised it's on the list. No pun intended. Again, this is a hard film to watch. Big Lebowski, yes. Easily. I would put it much higher on the list. But yes, Big Lebowski definitely deserves to be there. To me, one of the funniest comedies out there. My favorite Coen Brothers flick. Love the Big Lebowski. Love the characters. Love the humor. Love the film. Got the DVD actually right over there. It's a Wonderful Life. Before my time, there's other holiday classics I like more. Home Alone, Scrooge, Christmas Vacation. There Will Be Blood. It just wasn't for me. 12 Angry Men. Yeah. Yeah. Silence of the Lambs. I like Silence of the Lambs. I'm not surprised it's on the list. I like the film. Good performances. Won Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's on the list. Citizen Kane. I'm surprised that's so low. So many people have said that's the best film of all time. The fact that it's number 40, it's rather surprising. I didn't mind the film. It wouldn't be on my list, our top 100, but I didn't mind the film for what it was. And here's the thing, like, for me, my list would be more entertainment. I didn't make a list on Letterboxd. I probably won't show it here because that's not part of the thing. There's going to be a long video as is because it's already minutes in. But my list is more of just entertainment value. Because that's why I mainly go into films is for entertainment. But I'm surprised it's not higher. Gladiator, I'm not surprised it's on the list. A lot of people love Gladiator. There's other Russell Crowe films I liked more, like Virtuosity. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, again, not surprised it's on the list. I actually prefer the first two more. A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More. Other westerns like High Plains Drifter, another Clint Eastwood film, Young Guns. There's other but I mean, I like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I do like the film. I do enjoy the film. It's just there's other westerns I enjoy more. I do think the film's a bit too long in the tooth. I don't think it need to be 3 hours. But I do enjoy A Fistful of Dollars. For a Few Dollars More is actually my favorite of the trilogy, the one in the middle. Seven, okay, I was saying, yeah, David Fincher's Seven. I'm fine with that being on the list. Eternal Sunshine Spotless Mind, good movie. Saw this in the theater when it came out. Liked the storyline. Thought it was an interesting way of detailing a love story where Jim Carrey finds out that his girlfriend or his ex erased all the memories she had with him. So he's going to erase all the memories he had with her. He's in part of the procedure, and in the middle, he wants it to stop, but he's trying to stop his memories from disappearing. I've changed my mind. I changed my mind. I actually want to keep these. As it says here, better to have loved and lost and all that. It is a unique way of detailing a love story. Like, how many ways can you tell a love story? But that did in a unique fashion is one of Jim Carrey's better performances. Yes, The Shining. I'm glad that's on the list. Okay, now we're getting there. Like, okay, these last couple I'm fine with. Seven, Eternal Sunshine, Shining. Have no issues with that. I've never been a Lord of the Rings guy. I've never been a Lord of the Rings guy. I'm sorry. I just never have been. That's the Two Towers, Casablanca. You know what? I still have yet to see Casablanca. I've seen all the famous scenes, just not the movie entirely. John Carpenter's The Thing deserves to be on the list. I would put it higher. But it's nice to see this film be so high on the list. Above Actresses, above Psycho. That's nice to see. So it's nice that it's down in some respect. Interstellar. Come on. Come on. Really? Interstellar's number 31 in the greatest films of all time? Really? Interstellar has some beautiful effects. I like Matthew McConaughey's performance, but come on, dude. Dudettes. Number 31 in the best of all time? Where's the Shawshank Redemption? I'm guessing that's going to be on there. Where's... Like, okay, you space movies. I like The Martian with Matt Damon more. I liked the Brad Pitt one. Ad Astra more. Really? Interstellar? The movie, I don't remember hating, but it's a bit too long in the tooth, and it has a garbage finale. I'm sorry. People can disagree all they want. I think the finale in Interstellar is fucking garbage. And to me, hurts the film. With this, like, what? Trying to do this paradox that just made it more confusing than it needed to be. I'm sorry. I would not put Interstellar on a list of 100 best of all time. This I would. Heat. Yes, thank you. Great fucking movie. Apocalypse Now. Again, there's other Vietnam War films. Full Metal Jacket, Hamburger Hill, Casualties of War, Uncommon Valor. Even Platoon I would put above it. Indiana Jones Last Crusade. Cool. Great movie. Great movie, great sequel, damn good film, have no issues with it. Surprises that high, though, number 28. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Yeah, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. Die Hard, yes, finally Die Hard. should be higher. But Die Hard definitely deserves to be on the list. Fight Club, bit too high, but I enjoy Fight Club. Terminator 2, I like T2. There's just other movies I like more than T2. I'm not surprised it's on the list though. 2001 Space Odyssey. I like the film. I understand it being on the list. Okay. Avengers End Game. So you're telling me that Avengers End Game is better than Terminator, Die Hard. This is number 22, so I could imagine how many films we're missing. You don't talk about superhero movies? Where's Superman the movie? Where's Batman 1989? Where's the first Iron Man? Any of the Captain America films? Captain America Winter Soldier. All, in my opinion, much better than Endgame. Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Predator better be on the list. Predator 2 better be on the list. What am I talking about? Predator 2 ain't gonna be on the list. All, Commando, RoboCop. Maybe some of them are on the list. But Avengers Endgame, a film where it's 3 hours long. You have the Hulk wearing glasses. Yes, I know it's a reference to the comic book, but he still comes off as a wannabe Steve Urkel, ready to say, did I do that? Taking selfies and offering people fucking tacos. Thor becoming a fat fuck after he failed and doing jokes about the Big Lebowski. And you want to say this is 20 seconds on the greatest films of all time. I was going to do the spiel. I was going to get up and leave and walk. What's the fucking point? What's the fucking point, man? Overrated as fuck. Alien, yes, agree. Matrix, yes, agree. Inception, I like Inception. I think that's Nolan's best film. Parasite. Parasite is the ain't. You trying to tell me Parasite is the 18th best film of all time? Parasite. A film I ranted on, I did a review because I think it's a completely overrated film. You know what happens in Parasite? A family says, for some reason, cannot find a fucking job. All of them. But they can be these expert stealth squad to infiltrate a rich family. They can do all of this. Expertly manipulate. But they can't get a fucking job better than folding pizza boxes. And they each get into this family, making one woman puke, only to find out that apparently the house is built on some goddamn foundation where there's a fucking secret bunker underneath, where other people have been hiding there for weeks and years. So this rich family somehow doesn't know they're living on top of a fucking bunker. And one woman went up to the fridge to steal food all the time, and no one noticed. Let me tell you something about rich people. They fucking notice shit taken. That's how they stay rich. Because they're stingy as fuck. And it's like, give me a fucking break. 18th? I wouldn't even put a top 100 in 2019. This movie is fucking overrated. This and Avengers End Game are the two most overrated films on this list so far. No way deserves to be 18. Aliens, yes, that does deserve it. Blade Runner, I like the film, I get it. Jurassic Park, I like the film, I get it. Godfather Part 2, I could never get into the Godfather films. I prefer Goodfellas. Where's Goodfellas on the list? I prefer Casino. Goodfellas is not on the list, but Parasite and Black Panther and Avengers End Game are on the list, but no Goodfellas. There's no Goodfellas on the list? Back to the Future, I get it. Great movie. Man Minutes for Your Own is number 12. No Road Warrior. No Rambo films, it seems. You know what? Let me look to see. 12 Man Minutes for Your Road. 11 Star Wars A New Hope. 10 Goodfellas. Okay, there you go. 9 Raiders Lost Ark. Pulp Fiction, Jaws, Shawshank Redemption, Dark Knight, Godfather, Empire Strikes Back, Fellowship of the Ring. So you mean to tell me the 100 greatest films of all time, there are no Stallone films, not even Rocky, no Stallone films, and not even Rocky, no Bruce Lee films like Enter the Dragon, no Jackie Chan films. Of course, no Van Damme like Bloodsport. No, Steven Seagal. No Dolph. That they don't look at them like we do. But no Stallone films like not even Rocky or First Blood or Rambo Part 2. Of course, no Die Hard 2, Die with a Vengeance. No Fifth Element. I would put the Fifth Element above. No The Road Warrior. No Lethal Weapon. No Lethal Weapon. No RoboCop. No Predator, no Speed. Like, think about that. No Lethal Weapon, no Predator, no Speed. But you have Avengers End Game, Avengers Infinity War, Mammoth Fear Road, So Black Panther is better than Speed. Black Panther is better than Lethal Weapon. Black Panther's better than the Road Warrior, folks. Black Panther's better than the Road Warrior. Mammoth Fury Road is better than all those films I mentioned. Number 12. A film where Mad Max is a pussy in his own movie. Star Wars, New Hope, yeah. Goodfellas, good movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark, great movie. Avengers Infinity War, the most overrated film on this list, along with Parasite. Avengers Infinity War I never liked. I always thought it sucked. I thought it sucked when it came out. It sucks even more now. I think this is a film that in years to come, people don't realize this was an overrated fucking film. Because it does not have much rewatchability. The other one I ask people, what's so rewatchable about Avengers Infinity War? What's so rewatchable about it? What? Like, what is so rewatchable about the film? Hulk gets his ass kicked, and he never gets a comeback, never gets a retribution. Instead, the next film becomes because yes, I know in the film I know in the comics you have Professor Hulk, but this was just goofy, silly, stupid shit. So Hulk gets his ass kicked, he never gets a retribution. Thor and Thor Ragnarok, it's about, I don't need a hammer. Then in this film, I need to go find a big hammer. But this time a bigger hammer. This battle is completely pointless. This whole battle at the end, it doesn't matter because Thanos still snaps, he wins, half the population's wiped out, and you know this is going to happen because you have Endgame afterward. So it was pointless and useless. Spider-Man, he doesn't do anything, and Chris Pratt gets the drop on him. You know, the one guy that has Spidey sense? The one guy who's got Spidey sense, and some guy, Star-Lord, gets a drop on him. What does this say? It was the biggest crossover event in cinematic history and the biggest cliffhanger we never saw coming. You never saw it coming. Then you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking sheetard. You're a fucking moron if you didn't see it coming. By the way, we also announced we're coming with End Game. Oh, End Game. Thanos. The snap. Bet it's gonna happen. I saw it coming. You saw it coming. Never saw it coming. Then you're a fucking moron. Spectacular action, punch-the-air moments, and big-scale battles are perfectly balanced, as all things should be, with hilarious interplays and 18 emotion. What hilarious interplays were there in that movie? Cinema doesn't get much bigger or better than this. Then you haven't seen a lot of fucking cinema. Get the fuck out of here. Like Pulp Fiction I did. Jaws I did. Shawshank Redemption I did. Avengers Infinity War? Like think about what sticks out like a sore thumb. Look at this. A New Hope. Goodfellas. Pulp Fiction. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Avengers Infinity War. Dark Knight, I've always said was overrated, but you know what? I'd rather watch that than Infinity War. Because at least Heath Ledger gives a good performance. Godfather, I've never been a Godfather guy. Empire Strikes Back. Fellowship of the Ring, I've never been a Lord of the Rings guy. I don't think that's the greatest film of all time. I'm sorry. I don't think it's the greatest film of all time. But I would be more mad still about this one. Because I'm not into Lord of the Rings, it is what it is, but Avengers Infinity War? That's like a give me a fucking break. Same with Endgame. So again, let me get this straight. This is no Speed, no Stallone movies, including Rocky. You have stuff like A Quiet Place on there. And like Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, it's a list, and everyone has their opinion. They didn't have whatever opinion they want on a list. Let me see if I got something here. Let me double check on something. Just the tough thing about making a list is that there'll be stuff you forget, and you go, oh man, I should have had that on there. Fuck, I wish I had that on there. That always happens when it comes to a list. I'm just refreshing on my list. Which people would I know people would disagree with my list too. That's the thing with lists. We all don't disagree on stuff. That's just how it is. We all don't disagree on stuff. And this is how it goes, but I'm like, I didn't the list that people disagree with me. Again, that's why I would not, but for me, I don't call this the greatest films of all time. I just go, these are my top 100 favorite list. These are my top 100 favorites. So I'll just quickly show that. Again, greatest films of all time? I don't know. But my favorite films, personally, personal prejudice and personal, with no subjectiveness, my personal favorite would be this. These are my personal favorites. Which you can see from Hard Target, The Aliens, The Rambo 2, Predator 2, I Come in Peace, Leviathan, Cobra, Golden Child. Obviously, I have a difference. But okay, plus to remember too, what's not on that list? No Stallone film, no Predator, no Cliffhanger, of course, no Tremors, no Jacob's Ladder, no Dawn of the Dead. You think Dawn of the Dead could be on there? No Commando. No Speed. No Big Trouble in Little China. No Rocky film. comedies like Clerks, no John Wick. It's funny, like, the modern stuff where the superhero stuff. Dread, I would put Dread above any of those Marvel films on that list. I would put Dread above it. No Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, no Taken, no... Like, the Jim Carrey, the only one was, like, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Really, not many martial arts films at all. No Eddie Murphy films, like Beverly Hills Cop or 48 Hours on the list. No Hard Boiled, no RoboCop, no Scarface. And like I love so many. I mean, I would put Lethal Weapon on the list somewhere. I just didn't know where to put it on there because I listed like 100. I don't know where to put them all. This is kind of the general basis of where I would put them. I didn't as personal favorites, but like Lethal Weapon, I love. But these are like favorites. But people say, well, this list is bullshit too. So maybe it is, but again, I'm like, I look at some of the stuff. I'm like, Avengers Infinity War is the 8th best film of all time. Mad Max Fury Road is the 12th best film of all time. Parasite, the 18th best film of all time. Avengers End Game. But how many superhero films are in the top 25? Or like modern. Fight Club, Terminator 2, 2001, Avengers End Game, Alien, Matrix, Inception, Parasite, fucking Avengers Infinity War, Mad Max Fury Road. That Infinity War just blew my fucking mind, man. That blew my fucking mind. Christ. If you love Infinity War, good on you. I'm like, what is this bullshit? That's just my opinion. So I'm gonna go throw up. I'm gonna go puke. And we'll see you guys later. Fucking hell. Christ. Avengers Infinity War. Wow. I did not know it was one of the top 10 greatest films of all time. Not Superman the movie, not bad, you know. I'm like, what superhero films? And I'm like, not Predator, not Dawn of the Dead, you know, not Rocky, not Avengers Infinity War, not Speed. They can't even get a top 100. Fucking ridiculous. Come on now. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.